This past weekend, during his rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, Donald Trump did I don't know if you want to call it a town hall or just a weird stand-up interview, but he did one of those things with Fox News host Laura Ingraham, during which Ingraham asked him 3 times to basically say that you're not going to prosecute your political enemies if you get back into office. And 3 times, Donald Trump refused to say that he would not do that. Now, as I mentioned, this interview was conducted this past weekend, but it didn't air till earlier this week. So here is the exchange. Again, Laura Ingraham practically begging Trump to say that you're not going to abuse the justice system to go after your enemies, and Donald Trump 3 times refusing to do so. Here it is.
How will you restore faith in our justice system? A lot of people will say, well, he's just going to do to them what they did to him and get back at them.
A lot of people say that's what should happen. Well, you want to know the truth.
Right. Well, but I think, you know, punitively using government institutions is what got us in this mess in the first place. And our town hall that we did back in February, one of the lines that really resonated, I think, with people is when you said, my revenge is going to be my success.
Yeah, well, I do believe that, but I will say this. They have started a terrible precedent. We've never had this. We do have that in third world countries, banana republics, a lot in South America where they go after somebody politically that's an opponent. We never had it to any great extent, really almost at all.
But you're not going to do that. When you get in office, you're going to look at all your political enemies.
No, I want to make this the most successful country in the world. That's what I want to do.
You know what's weird? I don't know what's more disturbing about that clip. Is it that Donald Trump was given 3 chances to say he's not going to abuse power to throw his enemies in prison? Or is it the fact that this Fox News host was basically begging him to deny this? Or what might be the most disgusting part is that when Donald Trump had said, a lot of people say that's what should happen, the audience cheered. That audience of Fox News viewers, Trump supporters, they like that idea. That is what they want. They don't know why these people should be prosecuted. I mean, legally speaking, right? It's just, hey, you investigated Donald Trump, so now you should go to jail. I mean, hell, Marjorie Taylor Greene said just a few days ago that she wants, if Trump gets back into office, Jack Smith to be thrown in jail. So Trump has backing on this. It's not just the rantings of a crazy, senile old man. He has members of Congress that are more than willing to go along with this plan. And of course, thanks to Project 2025 and their plan to purge 55,000 federal employees and replace them with Trump loyalists, he's not going to get any pushback from the Department of Justice. If he gets back into office, if he becomes the president of the United States again, that is on the agenda. And there will be no smart people, no rational people around him to tell him he cannot do these things. That's the most terrifying part. If he had attempted to do this back during his first term, there were at least a few people around him that would have been like, no, absolutely not going to happen. He won't make that mistake again. And that's what is so frightening about a Trump second term. However, this was not the only insane thing that Donald Trump said during that segment, we'll call it, because again, I don't know if it's a town hall. I don't know if it's just, we're going to stand in front of people and I'm going to interview you. It's a segment. That's what we'll call it. But he also said, when he was asked by Ingraham about Biden recently saying, quote, I'm confident it will be free and fair. I don't know whether it will be peaceful. Talking about the election and the transfer of power. That's what Biden said. And when Ingraham asked Donald Trump about that, Trump responded, I don't think he knows. I really don't. I think he has no idea what he said. I really don't. Okay. So you're implying that President Biden's mind is not all there, right? He doesn't know what he's talking about. But you were asked specifically about that statement from him. Okay? And your response to that is, I don't think he knows where he is right now. I don't think you knew where you were right then. I don't think you know what Laura Ingraham even asked you. Like, she should have said, I'm sorry, can you repeat the question I asked you back to me? Because I think there may have been a little miscommunication. I just want to know what you heard, because you're going off over here, and I asked you, will there be a peaceful transfer of power? So, little off the mark there, Donnie. But yeah, it's always really great when your brain goes on a vacation as you're trying to say that somebody else's brain is the one that's problematic. He then talked about the legal cases against him, talked about how he's basically been totally exonerated, and he said, quote, "It's been totally discredited. The biggest case was in Florida. We won the case in its entirety. We're leading in most of the other cases." I can't even finish that. We're leading in most of the other cases, like it's a race. Like there's polls showing who do you think is winning this case that hasn't even gone to trial yet. He's like, we're leading in most of those. Jack Smith just came out with that filing that Judge Tanya Chutkan unsealed a week ago, busting your butt. And you have the audacity to say that, like, yeah, we're leading, we're way ahead in that case. No, you're not. And you have 34 felony convictions against you. You are a convicted felon. Something that, by the way, should be mentioned anytime anybody talks about Donald Trump. You're a convicted felon, and you're like, well, I'm leading. Yeah, leading in the number of felonies for a person running for president. That's what you're leading in. And no, you did not win the Florida case in its entirety. The judge, who was clearly in your pocket, dismissed it, and I have little doubt that the appellate court is going to reinstate it. So it's going to come back, and it's probably not going to be that good for you. But then he got to the heart of it, right? After all these crazy things, he goes full crazy and talks about how he wants to be the protector of women. I say to the women, and I think I do very well with the women, right off the bat, like you're already getting creepy with it. You're like, let me talk to the women, and I do pretty well with women. And then he says, I will keep you safe. I'm not going to let people hurt you. It's my job to protect as president. I want to protect women. My guy, who do you think women need protection from? It's you. You. You're the one who has had dozens of women accuse you of some form of sexual misconduct. You're the one that was found liable for the assault on E. Jean Carroll, and the judge in the ruling basically says, you did basically, that word. If you say it, by the way, YouTube will kind of ding you on that. That's why I'm not saying it, but you all know what the judge basically said in that ruling. But women don't need you to protect them. Women need protection from Republicans and Republican policies. But you don't do that by standing up there saying, stay back, little lady, I'll protect you. You do that by empowering them, by having politicians that say, I'm not going to regulate your body. You get to make your own choices. That's how you protect women. And of course, you keep them away from Donald Trump, because honestly, if you want to keep women safe, the worst person in the world for them to be around is Donald Trump himself.